Um, well, that was pretty good, Gav. Well done. So just before we actually sat down, Tash pulled me aside and said, "Shaggy, no swearing, no rude stories, and please don't embarrass me." So that concludes my speech today. Thank you very much. Of course, that never happened, and I just think we should all say how beautiful Tash looks and what a stunning bride she is. So can we just raise a quick glass to Tash Leggett? Well, the first bit went well anyway. Warren Daniel Dudley Leggett. Where do we start? Strong, good looking, hard-working, funny, approachable. All very good reasons why I believe Warren has chosen me to be his best man. And I completely agree, and I'm sure you do too. That's 2 laughs I've got. More than happy, more than happy. So our friendship started so many years ago. I think we must have been 17 or 18 years of age. So much has changed over those years, but so many things have stayed the same. So the first time I met Warren, I think John introduced us. He was driving around Worcester. He had a white Vauxhall Astra, spinning hubcaps on the wheels. The windows were down, the music was loud. He had all of his belongings in the back of his car because he was moving house that day. I think he was pulled over by the police about 3 times, it must have been. So I find it really hard to believe that all these years later, Warren can still be seen driving round Worcester, music loud, windows down, with a load of other people's belongings in the back of his car. All right, carry on, don't we, go on. There's a load of other things that are still the same. He still straightens his hair and wears a cap. Plus his hair is so short, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. He still looks like a pepperami. He still dances like he's holding a salt shaker. If you don't understand this, when we go into the dance floor, I'm sure you will understand it. And he is still the most down-to-earth, humble, understanding person that I have ever met. So sitting down and writing this speech has been an amazing pleasure and a chore as well, I have to admit. Oh, no, I've gone. I've done it right until then. Thank you. Yeah. So we've had so many stories together. I would love to just stand here and tell them all. But literally I can't, because some of them are just so unrepeatable. It just doesn't even make sense to repeat them at his wedding day. But there's a few examples I'd like to say. The first time we climbed RSVP scaffolding when we were drunk, reenacting the advert not to do stupid things when you're drunk. There was the time we walked home and broke into a Chinese man's restaurant with help of the Chinese man who owned the restaurant. We've been to Amsterdam twice, which you can't mention anything about those, Anthony. And they're literally, the stories will go on and on and on, and I'm sure Warren will agree that every story is as funny as the last story. Yeah. So over the years, Warren has had many interests and hobbies, mainly girls, and there's been loads of them. Moving on quickly. He's been a chef, a sewerman, a window salesman. He tried to be a tennis pro for about a year, I think. Not sure that worked very well. He was also a DJ. Wizzy and Mizzy were their names. Not sure they played many gigs, but the three housemates they played to at the time really enjoyed it. Talking about houses, Warren's lived in a few over the years, believe it or not. There was 1A Himbleton Road, which was a house share with 5 lads, dirty boxes, pizza boxes, beer cans, beer bottles, and that was just the front garden. There was 30 Badger Gardens, again, which was dirty boxes, beer cans, and again, that was just the front garden. And then there was 9C. That place was a shithole. If it rained, excuse my language, if it rained, you needed wellies to get to the front door. The front door key was an actual stick or a shoe. And the best thing, the only thing of any value in that house were his signed pictures of Tom Hanks, which he hung on the wall to hide holes which were in the wall. So, knowing Warren for as long as I have, it's been an amazing pleasure. And knowing him now and everything that he's achieved, I can just say how happy I am and literally how proud I am of everything he's achieved from where he's come from and where he is now, to stand here in front of everyone. It's just I can't put it into words how proud I am of him, honestly. From starting his small business and then watching his business grow and continue to grow and what it isn't today, I think it just shows how hardworking, dedicated and creative he is. I'm just lucky, and I think we're all lucky to have him as a friend. I didn't quite say that, well I said. And having said all that and everything he's achieved, personally, I think his biggest achievement is he is still as grounded and as humble and as down to earth as the exact same day that I met him driving around Worcester with his windows down, music loud, with all his belongings in the back of his car. So there's just 3 bits of advice really, which I'd like to share with him, and I'd hope he'd take. And that's one, that your wife will always be right. Your daughter will always be right. And don't ever, ever change being Warren Daniel Dudley Leggett. So I'd just like to raise a toast to the Leggetts. Oh. Cheers. Cheers, Art.
Who's on next? That goes on there. You can either put that in your pocket.
I'll put it in there, whatever.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Just stick it there. Okay. Yeah. Sorted.
Fuck off. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Corrigan, and I am Warren's best man. Not one of the two, but the best. Good effort, Shag. I'd like to congratulate Robert Sinclair for turning up. He's had a hair transplant in Turkey, and mate, it looks phenomenal. Rob. Superb, mate. Proud of you. Okay. You know what? When Warren asked me to be his best man, there's no question, you're just going to say yeah, because if your best pal says, will you don't even question it, you just say, whatever you want, mate, I'll do it. And that's what I did, because if the roles were reversed, he'd do the same. And I first met Warren when I was about 8 years old. I had recently moved from Glasgow to Kidderminster. And, you know, as moms do, like, oh, you're a young boy, go and make some friends, go and kick about with the local people. So I said, yeah, son, yeah, I'll go and do it. So I went out, you know, football boots on, shin pads a lot, and I was kicking about the street. And I met this geezer, man, big scrawny geezer, you know. He was tall, he was skinny, big hair, greasy all over his front face. And I said, you're right, mate. He said, yeah. He said, you want to play football? I said, yeah, sound, I'll play football. So we were playing football and, you know, kicking about, and I was doing the skills, scoring the goals. And he said to me after the game, he said, do you want to come and see my snake? I said, you what, mate? He said, yeah, come and see my snake. So, you know, I was new, I took a chance. I thought, yeah. I said, yeah, sound, mate, I'll come and see a snake. So we went round the back, you know, into someone's back garden. I didn't even know if it was your dad's house. He took me into a garden. There was basically a pit with a snake in there. And he's like, oh, there's my snake. I said, oh, sound, mate. I said, that's a nice, I've never seen a snake. I said, oh, that's sweet. He said, oh, I've got a cat as well. I said, wicked, mate, let me see it. He said, he's gone out. I said, where's he gone? Fucking Frankie and Benny's. He said, oh, no, he'll be back in a bit. I said, mate, I've seen a cat before, mate. I know I'm getting into. I said, I'll see you in a bit, mate. So I walked home, went to my mum, and she's like, she said, oh, do you meet any friends? You know, moms, you know, have you got friends? I said, oh, nah, they said the kids around here are weird. And I said, yeah, sound. So I went to school on the Monday. That was like a Friday. I went to school on the Monday, and a new school, new place. I spoke different. I looked different. I was from Glasgow. I went into the school, and the first person I seen was fucking Catboy. I said, you're right, mate. He said, yeah. My cat, you didn't see it. I said, it's cool, mate. Don't worry about it. And that was the first day I saw old Catboy. And it was the start of a beautiful thing. I mean, that must have been maybe 6, 7, maximum 8 years old, and I'm still with him. Take the fucking hint, mate. I moved to Glasgow. Yeah, so me and Catboy kicked about. We was in school, and we went to different. Was it first school, middle school, high school, in down here? So we went to different schools. We reconnected at high school, and we sort of kicked off where we left off, wasn't it? And that's what we did, yeah. And we were studying, etc. And Warren, you know, you all know him as a successful businessman, entrepreneur, which is true. That's a fact, you know. But if you'd have saw him at school, oh fuck, you know, we was in the same year, but I was obviously I was class 1, you know, maths, English. This kid was in class 7. Oh man, he didn't have a clue. He was, but nonetheless, it was my mate, you know what I mean. So I kicked about with him. Me and Catboy kicked it all the way through high school. And we made it all the way through. And you know, obviously high school, you leave school, and I was playing football for Worcester. They offered me a pro contract, you know, as they do. A few boys. Hair transplant never made it, but you know, we were kicking about. So I introduced Catboy to my football squad, and it's mate, no. No, mate. So yeah, that's where the introduction started from Warren meeting, Sinky, Myth, Mikey, Shaggy, Seb, who's in Australia. Congratulations to Seb if you're watching your civil partnership, you and Trevor. God bless you, mate. Wish I could have been there. So that's where the introduction started, and I've introduced Waz to the boys I was playing football with. I introduced him as one of my own because he is known him since day one, week one, day one. He was old cat boy was kicking about. You were there, weren't you, mate? We were there. We were quite simply. We were sort of. Although we spent time apart at high school, maybe sometimes in middle school, but we were always drawn to each other because we had the same sort of mentality and just enjoyed each other's company, which we still do today, don't we? And this guy, to think, when I think back, I think, oh, cat boy, I saw him in the street, he had a vest on, it was San Francisco 49ers or something, he had some hot pants on, some Freddie Mercury trainers, and I thought, if you'd have told me back then that this boy would be by my side when I was 34, I wouldn't have believed it. I seriously wouldn't have believed it, but I couldn't be more proud that we are still together, still the best of friends, and we're here, mate, innit, And a lot of you will know Warren as he is. He represents himself, his brand, Warren's Haulage and Removals. It's professional, it's articulate, it is what they say they will deliver, and that's the person you see today. But what you don't see behind the sort of businessman is the person, someone who is maybe. No, it's the mic. Maybe someone who is vulnerable, insecure, and sort of maybe scared, scared of ghosts, scared of wolves, and but when you're vulnerable, when you're scared, that's when you really let people in that you want by your side. When you're so, because you won't see his downfalls. All you see is what you see on the surface, but beneath it is a man who has been trying, and eventually succeeded. And it's hard not to sort of get emotional when you speak about people you love. It's almost impossible. I'll be alright. I will. And to end it, there's a speech that me and Warren like. It's by Denzel Washington. Have you ever seen Man on Fire? Yeah. Film, innit? Film. And he says, you will never see a removals vehicle behind a hearse. That's what he said. I know it sounds daft, but you will never see a removals vehicle behind a hearse. I'm not knocking your business, mate, but you get it. But what he's saying is, you can't take it with you. And what he's got for his family, for you, for your beautiful daughter, he's gonna give it. Because you can't take it with you, so he's gonna give it all. And I'm sorry for getting a bit emotional, but I've had a few drinks. Yeah, but I love the guy. Oh, cowboy. He's still here. God bless you, mate, and for you, your wife, your daughter, who I know you love more than life itself, I wish you nothing but success.
One more time, please give both best men John and Martin Leggett cheer.
Thank you, mate.